Previously on that bullshit.
But hey, I'm the grifter, I'm the bad guy, I'm someone who goes against the narrative, I'm bootlicking, I'm doing this for money, because that's all you could possibly say, because what I'm saying right now, you can't even sit here and create a counterpoint, because if you do, you are spitting in the face of people who lost their lives because they bullied somebody, and for some reason in your mind, that's an okay reason for their lives to be taken. Nothing else, just some petty insults, something that in the future, these strong individuals who are trans can wipe off the brush of their shoulders. But no, we have to sit here and say, free this person, free that person, because they got their feelings hurt and they were justified in taking somebody's life. It is pathetic watching some of you people try to dance like that. You're spitting in all these people's faces, and I'm hoping you're happy with that. A month ago, I made a video about people trying to give a pass to some transgenders who thought that it would be in their best interest to respond to bullying with shooting up a school, and I stand by everything I said in that video. If you're a transgender who's being bullied, the dumbest thing you could do is open fire on a bunch of students, and if you think that's okay, and if you do that, and you think you're morally good, guess what? You're not, and you're the scum of the earth. And if you are someone who sees that, and you want to give them a pass because transphobic people deserve a bullet, guess what? You're the scum of the earth too, and you could all roll around in the dirt together like the pathetic weirdos you are. But I got a comment under that video recently, and I'm going to use this comment as an example as to what happens when you call out an obvious bad, but you didn't care about the perpetrator. You didn't care about the person who openly did harm, and that's a problem, because in this current society, we generalize, and it's upsetting to see people do such things to people who are opening fire on other students. See, here's what I hate about this video. You decided to take the chronically online people, paint them as if they're some kind of activist, and dead naming and misgendering Maya. You are breeding transphobia. Now, does Maya deserve jail time? Absolutely. But don't dead name her. Give her the basic human respect you give every other person. Put a pin in that, because we're going to come back to it later. If your other content on other issues is similar to this, you're contributing to the alt-right pipeline. Now, what that means is someone watches your video, then goes on to watch someone like The Quartering, no BS, then all the way down to the neo-Nazis like Caitlin Bennett and Lauren Chin, and they become reactionary neo-Nazis who are only interested in oppressing you, sir, as a black man. Get your shit together, because you're leading people down a path that is not in your best interest. And I would like for you and the other weirdos who agree with you to explain to me what you think would be in my best interest. And while you're trying to figure that out, understand you're not listening to a black person. I get that you're white and you feel like you need to help, but people told you to do one specific thing. Shut the fuck up and listen to black people. Don't just listen to certain black people who cry victimhood 24/7. Listen to black people who have a different viewpoint on life. Listen to black people that don't portray themselves as victims. If you actually do that, you'll understand that there are a lot of black people who don't think like the casual victim nowadays. We don't think like all these people who claim to be oppressed while tweeting from $1,000 phone. We don't like to think like that. There are more diverse thoughts in Black America, which you could consider if you weren't such a dumbass. Now, about you claiming that I'm making videos to contribute to the alt-right pipeline. I don't know if you know this about me. You don't, but I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm not any sort of political term you want to throw at me. You might think I am, but I guarantee you I'm absolutely not. What I do with this YouTube channel is provide the one thing that people like you seem to lack: common sense. Where common sense is lacking, I'm going to try to provide just a tiny bit of it. Whether if it's funny or informative, I plan to just spew common sense where it's lacking. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't care about any of your political feelings. I don't care about the election. I don't care about your politics, because it's all dumb and there are all dumb people around it. And I would like to call them out. I don't need political leanings to call out a Democrat. I don't need political leanings to call out a Republican. If I see an obvious stupid thing or someone saying a stupid thing, I'm going to talk about it. Why? Because it's stupid, and here's a random person on the internet giving his opinion just like everyone else. If you think that's contributing to the alt-right pipeline, and I'm getting on all fours and praying to my oh sweet gods, The Quartering, Lauren Chin, Caitlin Bennett, Ben Shapiro, and Gothics, you got the game fucked up. These are my own thoughts. These are my own talking points. I don't need anyone else to give me information. I do my own own research. I actually think outside the box, unlike people like you. Are we clear? Do we understand each other? Do we understand that different people have different viewpoints and think differently? And instead of telling people that you need to do something that fits your best interest, you instead encourage them and open your fucking ears to a different opinion? Do we understand each other? I hope so. Now, let's pull the pin out on your previous comments that you made about me showing respect to a transgender who shot up a school. Absolutely not. I will never do it. I don't care about misgendering them. I don't care about not saying their proper pronouns. Fuck them. You know why? Because they decided to respond to bullying with opening fire on students. I don't want to hear about showing them respect. I don't want to hear about them showing sympathy. I don't want to hear about I have to give them the proper pronouns and say their correct name. I'm not going to do that. You know why? Because they openly decided to cause harm to people. And guess what? You're sitting there trying to grandstand. They admitted to it. They admitted what they did was bad and how no one else should do it. And while I could give them props for that, fuck them. Outside of that, they get no respect. I don't care. I don't care about anyone's outside feelings attached to it. Because guess what? Transgender people, whatever you want to use the right terminology for, they all don't do this. There's a proper way to respond to bullies, and that ain't it. And if you want to grandstand and act as if what I was doing was a bad thing, guess what? You are quite pathetic and you're a scary human being, and I really think you have something wrong with you. But I'm going to play devil's advocate. But before I do that, I just want to explain something again about this alt-right pipeline. If I'm sitting here contributing to the alt-right narrative, these people wouldn't agree with me in that you don't show respect to people who take human lives.
I don't respect people who take other people's lives.
I don't respect people who take other people's lives.
I don't respect people who take other people's lives.
I don't respect people who take other people's lives.
I just realized that all of these people, with the exception of one, are people of color. So my question to all the people that claim we need to show respect and I'm contributing to an alt-right pipeline, what are you going to say to these individuals that think just like me, that you don't show respect to people who take lives, that you don't show respect to people that cross that line? What is your explanation to them going to be? Are you going to tell them that they're being controlled by some evil black man who shills for the white people? Are you going to tell them that their thoughts are bad thoughts? Are you going to tell them that they don't know how to think properly because in their mind what they're thinking is toxic and problematic and it hurts people's feelings? Need I remind you, you're openly defending and wanting respect for someone who decided to cross the line and take lives. I get that you think you're doing the moral obligations, but guess what? You look like a bona fide fool. Now, to end this video and end this entire stupid talking point, this idea that I'm supposed to show respect to perpetrators, to people who cause harm, to individuals who sought to hurt others. Okay, let's play that game. If I'm supposed to show respect to a literal dumbass who decided to harm others, then every single woman on planet Earth has to respect Bill Cosby, Louis C.K., and R. Kelly, because we must respect and care about perpetrators' feelings. Subscribe to the channel. Some of y'all need help. I promise you. Goodbye.